Hi, if you are new to the channel, this may seem a little weird. If you're a returning viewer, this may also seem a little weird, but if you've been around for a little while, you know that I love to paint. I do abstracts of people, and I do very personal kind of paintings. And today's subject is someone who's very important to me, and he is someone that none of you will probably ever meet, ironically enough, but he's one of my best friends. So I'll give you a little backstory, and then we'll just listen to some music, and I'll paint, and then we will check back in. The person that I'm painting in this video is one of my best friends in the whole world. He's one of my longest friends. I've known him for 12 years, maybe longer, and at the time of painting, it was a few days after his birthday. He is someone who took such good care of me. He did everything he could for me. And he's someone who never lets things happen that he can help stop, like bad things. He's a great dude with a good smile, good laugh, good heart, and he means the world. He's been through some of my darkest times and some of my brightest celebrations. He never asks for anything in return. And he'd be so upset if he knew that I was painting him. See, the thing is he doesn't do the internet. He doesn't do social media. He doesn't do any of this kind of stuff. His dad was kind of a survivalist type. And in his survivalist type nature, kept his kids off the grid mostly. But I met my friend in college, and he was wicked smart and took really, really, really good care of everybody. And I'm so grateful for him. Without him, like I said, I wouldn't be here. So there are a few people in my personal life who know him, but most people don't. And all those people in my personal life who know him ask me why I've never painted him. But he never wanted it, because it's just like having social media, you know? And it's not his thing. So I respected his wishes for so long, and finally I said, you know what, screw it. He's done so much for me lately. It was his birthday, and he couldn't say no. Having a good friend like that, I will never, ever, ever forgive or forget. He would always take all the dark stuff and take it away, and no matter what I needed, he would always answer the phone. Albeit it was an old flip phone with a junk number, and always keeping hold of his number was always hard, but it was worth it. And so he gets a very special painting that I did all by hand, by finger. Besides the background, there were no brushes used on this painting. And I think that makes it a little bit more intimate, a little bit more personal. So I'm going to turn up the tunes and sit back and let the recording play. I just showed off all the paint that I had on my hand from doing that. I never quite expected that this is how it was going to work and what it was going to be, but I'm proud of it. That's for sure. So, thank you, and enjoy the art. So I'm going to interrupt here and talk a little bit about my process when it comes to painting. I do everything in abstracts. I have a condition, I guess you would call it, called aphantasia, where I don't really have a visual imagination or a visual memory, really. Like I sort of do. It's not super severe, but what that causes is I don't have like the ability to just kind of like draw things. I remember people by how they make me feel, by what they say, what they do, the emotions that come from it all. And so I end up painting with colors and motions and shapes and strokes of the brush or my finger in this case, and it really makes a difference in how I kind of express myself, because these are unfiltered feelings and emotions, and there's layers and there's chaos and there's also beauty, and everything is kind of intentional. It may not look like it, but it's all intentional. So for me, painting my best friend, it really makes a difference and changes how people can like feel about my perception of them, if that makes sense, because it's unfiltered and it's raw. And the more I get to know someone, the more it changes, and the more my opinion shifts and moves. And so yeah, I wanted to interrupt and kind of explain that a little bit, because it's not very clear ever. I have such a hard time explaining it to people, because I say, yeah, I'm painting someone and it's an abstract, and they're just like, oh, it's like, we're getting like, oh, their face is in a funky shape. And I'm like, no, there's no physical like objects. It's emotions and brushstrokes and colors. And it's hard to have people consider it like real art when they don't see the tangible of it. And there's people who don't get it, and they don't care. And that's okay. If you're someone who kind of gets it and you care, I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm recording this separate from everything else just because I needed to think about it. I really needed to kind of know what I was getting into. But yeah, we're getting into kind of the nitty-gritty of my best friend. And I love him so very, very much. And I will let the music keep playing. So. So as you can see, we've kind of wrapped most of the painting here. We're putting the finishing touches on it. I'm always putting my metallics and all of my shiny and glittery paints on at the very end. Because for most people, even if it's full of darkness on the outside, the shiny veneer that we all put on kind of exists. So yeah, I hope that you can kind of see and understand what my best friend is like. He's strong, smart, charismatic. He has made some mistakes and he's paid for them, and he's found good and joy and beauty and always does what's right. And without him, I wouldn't be half the person I am today. So, if he ever watches this, he's gonna be so pissed. But I think he knows how much he means to me and to many other people. So, to my best friend who stood with me through marriage, divorce, sickness, dropping out of college, moving states, and everything. You're my best friend and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and happy birthday, and I hope that you love your painting and you don't get too mad at me for it. And he's the one who gave me all of my best lines of advice. I only know those because of him. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching another one of my crazy art videos. It's just random. I love doing these. I love expressing myself and my thoughts and my feelings this way. So I really appreciate it. If you're new here and you like gameplay and art, hit the subscribe button. And until then, be good to yourselves, be good to others. I'll see you in the next video.